day myself, I never change. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Welcome back in, everyone, to EA Sports coverage of the NFL. We're just about set for a kickoff as we resume action in the second quarter. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. Andre Roberts now to return it. Falcons taking over on offense in just a second, and, you know, this year ended in disappointing fashion now. Last year was the ultimate version of heartbreak, but if you're a Falcon fan, this one was tough to swallow as well, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because let's be honest about it. Losing in the Super Bowl, I don't care how you lose, you're in the Super Bowl, you're playing for it all. This team was supposed to be as good or better. Ultimately ended up 10-6, found their way in the playoffs, but didn't get the deep run as they had the year before. So you're exactly right. For Falcons fans, that's a tough one. But this is a team that's built to be good for a long time.
Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of and a big loss here as he's taken down.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the shotgun, Ryan. He's got Sanu. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Freeman again. And he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. What a spin. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Oh, it's dropped. He couldn't hang on. That would have been a big interception. Instead, they'll have a chance to get 3.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on 4th down. And the Jets are going to get the football back. Charles, with that incompletion, I wanted to discuss the charitable efforts that team fan bases are putting forward right now. What about what we've seen these last couple of weeks?
It's been something, hasn't it? Because it started really with the Buffalo Bills fans. Because, remember, they hadn't been to the playoffs in nearly 20 years. and they got in because of the touchdown pass Andy Dalton threw of the Bengals. So they donated over $300,000 to Andy Dalton's charity after that touchdown pass put them in the playoffs and knocked out the Baltimore Ravens. So how about this week? What do we call this? Paying it forward?
Yeah, paying it forward, absolutely.
Right? So the Bengals fans, having received that from them,
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Petty now. Left side complete. Safarian Jenkins. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Austin Safarian Jenkins. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this thing up. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that.
Officials always tell you, I don't want him. You did it. I had to.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Now, before this next series gets going here offensively, what about that Saints-Vikings game?
There's so many different ways we can go and so many comments we can start with, but I hope you don't mind me starting with this one. Never in the history of the NFL, all right, did we ever think that Drew Brees could lead a team that scores and leaves just 29 seconds on the clock, and he left too much time for Case Keenum. Think about that.
Yeah,
all right?
Just the end of that game, you know, we say it all the time, but you live for those moments. Now, you also got to remember, for the Saints, and we're thinking about the Vikings, for the Saints, what heartbreak.
Heartbreak for Marcus Williams, especially the safety. People are going to identify him as the key. But there's one thing to keep in mind. Kyle Rudolph, the tight end for the Vikings, ran about a 7-yard route, and someone from the Saints defense jumped him. And at
the 7-yard line, the catch is made. A big play there. Ryan Jones, 42 yards. And we continue to see another example here of offenses just going for it.
And this game has really turned into a receiver's dream and a defender's nightmare because no one's being stopped throwing the ball downfield, and points are going on the board.
Now it's Ryan. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Demario Davis. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. On second down, here's Ryan. Eluding the pressure right. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
On third and goal, Ryan into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick, and he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. The New York Jets working their way back. Now, Todd Bowles, Charles, was given the vote of confidence. He'll be back in 2018.
And I think it's a good vote of confidence and for the right reasons. Remember, before the season, how many times have we joked that everyone we talked to said the Jets would go 0-16?
Yeah.
They were very competitive throughout the year. They played hard for Coach Todd Bowles, so that makes sense. But when you look at their offense, Everyone wants to talk about the quarterback position. I don't think there's a spot on the offense that they couldn't improve with draft choices and free agency. So that's an offense that needs total retooling.
Yeah, so with the high draft pick first round, it's not a given that they're going quarterback.
Not a given, but if there's one they like, I'm pretty sure they're going to go ahead and take him.
Here we go. 3-19.
Here's Petty. Open man is Stewart. It's complete. And they finally get him down at the other 46. It's a big play there for the Jets on third. 43 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
He's going to air one, and oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And he will take it on out to the 20-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
He's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 58 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end. Yeah, he only gets a few yards on first incompletion, or even worse. And
that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Justin Hardy from 19 yards away. And the Falcons have taken the lead. And man, Charles, talking about singing something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Here's Bryant for the extra point. It's up and good, and they've jumped back ahead, 35-28. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right?
Blitz coming, and down he goes. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
All right, here we go.
This is the running back, Powell. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Larry Ridley will have first half highlights and analysis.
LR, plenty to show in this one.
Going to be a busy man at intermission. On 3rd down, it's Powell. And a little spin cycle. Room to run now. And he's into the clear. The 20. And he makes it all the way down to the 13-yard line. It's a big play there for the Jets on 3rd. 67 yards. 3rd and long, they keep it on the ground, and it pays big dividends.
Sometimes it's a surprise to the defense. 3rd and long, you expect to pass. You catch them off guard. In this case, you're exactly right. It paid huge dividends, off and running.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
They'll set up a throw. This is caught. The gain of 5 that time gives them the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. They'll run. This is Powell. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll run again. Again, it's Powell. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Bilal Powell on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, whether they want to let their return guy touch it.
Catanzaro now for the extra point. And things are getting good now. We're heating up, tied at 35. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it's finished off by the touchdown run coming from Bilal Powell. On the return, here's Justin Hardy. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching.
And got his man complete. A big play there just before halftime. 41 yards. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year and the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
Going to give it to Freeman. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. So we've reached halftime in it. Sorry, Larry, your hard work appreciated by so many men and women, but not today as we get back to the action in the second half. This is taken at his 4. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the two defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
And it's caught over the middle. Hooper. A big play there on the catch and run. 54 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. They'll look to run with Freeman. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. The offense on 3rd down, they've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and goal. They'll try and run. Freeman. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons have broken our tie.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Bryant now to tack on the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it ends in a touchdown run from Devontae Freeman. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Bilal Powell and his offensive mates retaking the field. And you see the last drive, great chunk of yardage, the touchdown on 5 carries. And offensively, everything just looked in sync, didn't it?
It did, and the reason that it was in sync is because it's a combination of play calling, game plan, offensive line marrying up with all of their blocks. But don't forget the receivers out on the perimeter. Any type of a long run, the receivers have had a hand in that because they've occupied people downfield. And, of course, give the big credit to the man with the football. Great vision, good movement, gets to the end zone.
They go again with Powell. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Here's Powell. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Fighting to stay upright. Throwing deep for Stewart. That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
On play action, though, he's got Curse. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They run with Powell. And he gets it down to the 32. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. So it'll be first down here after the run. Measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Now a handoff here to his running back.
Long drive. Take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Throw left side is taken in by Stewart. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping them from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. A decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they do inch a bit closer.
Yeah, still lots of time to go in this one. Take the points, move on, and let your defense try to get the ball back.
This one taken from the 7. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And now running right through him. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the...
And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play there for Atlanta. And even 50 yards.
So let's go ahead and add to the difficulties of guys trying to cover receivers. They got to deal with speed, shiftiness, all that stuff. But how about when they have height and length and deep downfield? You throw the ball up in the air. That's how they uncover at the end of a route, by being able to go up over the top and make a big catch.
His throw caught. What about the 5? And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. And he's going to go down. This will count as a sack, a very short sack. Taken down at the 2. Steve McClendon able to get in there and drop him behind the line.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? he's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. He needed 2. He only got 1 on the sneak, and that's going to lead us to a 4th and 1. Bryant keeps it on the sneak. Try to wedge his way in there. No signal. I don't think he got there. He didn't. They try the sneak, but not enough push. He doesn't get in. And the Jets are going to get the football back. New York set to take the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way. And now, Charles, what do? You want to create some space here for your punter if you have to punt.
I think maybe you just go quarterback sneak and try and create that space and hope your punter can help you out.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. And they give this time to the tailback. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And this will be gathered up in the end zone. And that's a defensive touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave them a comfortable lead.
Here's Bryant for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out now come the Jets. And they've got to be still reeling from the events of a moment ago. What a turn on that last play.
You're knocking on the door. You're about to take it in. You think you're going to get some points on the board. Instead, you cough it up and watch them take it the rest of the way to the opposite end zone. That's a 2-score swing that you just gave up.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Complete to Stewart, right side. And they're going to get this one up to the 35-yard line. And a nice gain at 21 yards. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Now they try the right side here. And a loose football. And the Falcons grab it. And some room to work. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one. And it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long. Bryant now to tack on the extra point.
And the lead is up to 18 now. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Here's Bryant for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now the Jets offense about set to take. Over as they head onto the field. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know they're going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
He'll drop to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Stewart. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Powell with a first down and more. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Bilal Powell, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
So out come the Falcons now. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense.
And that's caught inside the 35. Mohamed Sanu with nobody ahead of him. Touchdown, Falcons. Mohamed Sanu with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons will extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And they open the lead up now to 25 points. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Deion Jones in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
They're going to look to throw. And this throw will be intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at the 3. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here.
Oh, he caught it. Just couldn't get the feet down. Couldn't get that toe tap sequence, right? I was ready to call him tippy toes if that one was completed.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Austin Seferian-Jenkins, 75 yards. And the Jets are able to close the gap just a bit. Well, yes, that's his 3rd touchdown catch, which is very impressive. But on the scoreboard, they're still struggling.
So safe to say that without him, my goodness, yikes, they are in major league trouble. He's doing his best to try and keep them in the game.
And that will cut this lead down to 25. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it ends with a Jet touchdown. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready to...
He's got a man, complete. A big-time play there for the Falcons. And even 40 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. He's going to let this one go deep. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And that one results in 35 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Now Ryan. That is caught at the 7-yard line. A big hit. Knocked down sideways at the 6-yard line. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Throwing again, Ryan. This will be caught at about the 6. He gets this down to the 3. Brought the power run out of the bag, but couldn't do a ton with it. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. On 3rd and goal, Ryan. And the Atlanta Falcons are in for the touchdown.
was at that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing too.
No, she's singing. She's
on like the 5th tune.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Bryant now to tack on the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. New York set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They start the drive with a give to Powell. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit. Even though I'm not rooting for either team, that was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Let's go! Blue 90!
They'll run it now out of the gun. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here we go now! 319! 319!
They'll look to throw. Nowhere to go. Here he lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And he'll bring it back to about the 5-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll run here with Freeman. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Again, it'll be Freeman. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And this offense on 3rd down today are looking at a 3rd and goal here. Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman punching it in from a yard away. And the Falcons capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6.
Well, this game was definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know there are plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it ends in a touchdown run from Devontae Freeman. Here's Bosher to kick it away. short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. New York set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Dumps off to Powell. That one goes for 36 yards.
After that nice game there, for the rest of the game, the defense is going to have to respect the running backs as passing threats as well. Not just play them strictly to run the football. They may be able to get downfield and catch it, too.
Watch number 29. Here we go now. 3-19. Single. 3-19.
Petty now. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Vic Beasley coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
And the offense
Here we go now.
down. It's Powell. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Falcons grab it. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. They give him a gain of 37.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. From the red zone now, here's Ryan on first down. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
And the offense inside the 5 here at the 4. It's first and goal. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone...
And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman taking it in from a yard out. And the Falcons add on. And that rushing touchdown is fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends in a touchdown run from Devontae Freeman. Here's Bosher to kick it away. It's a short kick taken near the 18. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. That'll bring up second down. But not to get too overcritical there, because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
He was looking for Ardarius Stewart there, and now it's third down.
When we talk with people about what we think the most important quality for an NFL quarterback to possess, what do people usually say?
Arm strength, and he showed the arm strength there.
Yeah, pretty good bullet pass he threw, but he wasn't accurate, was he?
No.
Listen, you like mobility, but accuracy, first and foremost, is what a quarterback needs. He didn't possess it on that play.
He'll look to throw. The grab made by Curse over the middle. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he...
Keep him short of the first. This is fielded inside the 5. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Falcons will be taking over first and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And Charles, in a very one-sided affair, I think we've reached the point in the broadcast where you and I, we may have some filling to do, right?
Yeah, I think you're right about that, because we got to try and keep people around. We don't want them to change the channel. Stay with us in this game. Is that Ben Ramsauer? Are you hearing from Ben on the headset here? Tell us, stretch this thing out a little bit.
Get some talking points. Dig them all out.
That's what you get. A big-time producer. Keep him here.
They've got his man complete. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 46 yards.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Give him 30 yards there.
Today's receivers in the NFL, they're the complete package nowadays. We know they can run, we know they can catch, but they have those big frames now. So oftentimes they just out-physical guys downfield and go up and catch the football. And we saw a big gain as a result on that play.
And now the offense operates in the red zone. It's Freeman. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a second and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And now it's 2nd and goal. Again, it'll be Freeman. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Did you hear that? Did you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And a good effort. It's the 30 to the 33-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as a going
exactly.
Forward.
Take a great look at that.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little.
You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a oh no, it's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the
all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right? Sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Flushed out right. That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. And it sets them back for 2nd down. Ryan's going to throw it. He's going to sling this deep downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
The Falcons on 3rd down. Now, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Ryan. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. And that's caught inside the 30. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Here's Bryant for the extra point. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Accelerating, and off he goes. 20. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Now, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
From the goal line all the way to the other goal line on that one. A full 100-yard return on the kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They can now enjoy the final stages of this one. A very convincing win. I don't know what was said in the locker room, but whatever it was, it worked pretty well.
It certainly did, and there's probably a capper to everything that was said during the week because they go over every eventuality. I mean, you know how coaches are. They want to cover every minute detail all the way up to how much time does it take to walk from the locker room to the field, you name it. And when it all comes together and results in a victory, everyone feels pretty good about that.
Well, the I's were dotted, the T's were crossed in this one for them. They run. Devontae Freeman broke a tackle, but not much room there ultimately. Just up past the 25 and no further. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
And a big hit there as he runs into a brick wall. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator,